Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob and today we are going to be continuing the Let's Play for Reavers 1999. And in today's part I think we're going to finally finish off the rest of the Uluru games, considering that we only have one final story here left, which is for Ezra. And then we can move on to the next thing. And speaking of next thing, just as a quick reminder, I already did bring this up, but as a quick reminder, next time we're gonna jump into one quick anecdote, considering I did see one of you guys bring up that Oliver Fogg, or rather Oliver Fogg's family, is somehow involved in the new Uluru games, in the new story rather, and it would be probably a good idea just to familiarize myself with his family before heading into it, just to have a bit more context to who they are and stuff like that, you know, background knowledge and such. So we're gonna do that next time, and considering that it's an anecdote, it's probably gonna be a quick episode, considering it's also 7 parts apparently, so yeah, it's probably gonna be a quick episode, but that's gonna be for next time, so just so you guys do know. And speaking of the comments on the previous part, our good old buddy Rufflecopter, or Zomfgroffelmao1337 said, Reavers has this talent of telling a nice wholesome story and then taking a bucket of ice water called reality, reminding you that reality sucks balls. Yeah, they do, don't they? Even when it's a happy-go-lucky story, they have that little hey, here's a quick reality check, right? But yeah, I love it when stories can do that. I mean, Arcanists also has the same kind of thing where their summer event stories are on first glance super happy-go-lucky, and then you hit the middle point of the story and suddenly it's a reality check of, oh yeah, right, I forgot what I'm reading, what game's story I'm reading right now. I mean, just look at a very recent one for the character Pepe. And if I'm not gonna forget, I'm gonna put her on screen because obviously most Reavers watchers for this series don't know the character. So this is Pepe, who you're seeing right now on screen. And this is a goofball of a character. Initial perception of a character is literally goofs and laughs and just silliness. And that's all you're gonna know, especially if you know the brain rot song that comes with the character, the EP. And then comes the story, and the first half of the story is you pretty much get regurgitated information of, okay, already knew that you're the daughter of a Padisha, yep, you're the daughter of a leading figure, got that, I know that you're a goofball, yep, got that, and then hits the middle point of the story where suddenly the character will say one specific or 2 specific lines of text where she clarifies why she is pursuing a career as a historian, or rather why she set that goal to herself. And it's suddenly, oh, that is sweet and heartbreaking. Oh, oh no. Oh, this flips the character a bit around, doesn't it? And then comes the later part in the story where the counterpart to her, a character by the name of Zubair, has more and more character development himself, and you see the connection between those two, and then comes another reality check between the two later on, and it's just, why is my heart bleeding right now? With that said, especially because you buddy are also a Arcanists player, this recent summer event, comparing it to the other summer event stories, probably might be one of my favorite ones, if not my favorite one. Even though it kinda abruptly ends, but it does build up for future stories with it, so, you know, we'll see where it leads to. But yeah, I love it when a game can actually tell you a story about a character, and you have this notion of how they are, and then they can flip it on their head, and still make sense because it was slowly built up in the background. Like slowly hinted at why they could be the way they are. And yeah, Arcanists is full of that. This game so far has been also kind of full of that as well. The Legend of Heroes games are absolutely chock full of that. Looking at you, Cold Steel 2, and making me freaking lose tears at the end of that, even though it's not, you know, a sad ending. It's just a parting. Sorry if that's kind of like a spoiler, but you know, it's a parting when people finish a portion of their life and have to go their own directions. Yeah, I love when stories can do that. Anyway, Rufflecopter, thank you very much for the comment, and yeah, let's proceed into our little story for our littlest of mushroom mans and see what this is about. As the driven snow falls. Alright, let's see. The new curator. Prelude. You know what? At least his voice is gonna be easier to do. What the hell? What is happening? Okay, let's back at the Institute. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Laplace Museum, I'd like to welcome you to the Snowy Mountain Ecology exhibition. Make sure to head over to the main entrance hall in 10 minutes for our opening ceremony. As part of the ceremony, our new museum director, Mr. Ezra, will have a speech. The crowd shuffled toward the entrance of the exhibition hall. Oh god, you're here.
Coincidence.
Funny running into you here. Quite the unexpected meeting.
Oh, hello.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Oh, you're that guy with the initial for a name. What was it again? This is X. You ought to get to know your colleagues, Medicine Pocket. It's not my job to socialize. X is an unknown, something to be unraveled, not remembered. Oh, that's an interesting thing to... Not wrong! Not wrong! Oh, actually not wrong. Let's just focus on the exhibition. It's our new colleague's first project. He climbed a mountain solo, gathered all the exhibit items, and provided his own annotations, all without help from the Laplace field team.
Technically?
That's no easy feat. He must have put in serious effort. I recommended he bring more people. But still he went alone. Aside from our tools and equipment, he had no other resources.
Looks like...
So Ezra reached out to you. I suppose he wouldn't have shown up at such an Arcanist gathering otherwise.
Fine.
Well, seems our little mushroom got some help. He wasn't alone after all. What did he ask you for? He needed a weapon. Something subtle, flexible, and with a bit of humor.
And I
happen to have such a weapon.
Get to the point.
I gave him a gun of sorts.
Huh?
I suppose it's some kind of wacky gun with a twisted barrel? Jesus Christ, okay. The conversation was cut off by a sudden commotion, and the young researchers turned to the podium. Did you say Director Ezra? The assistant who announced the director's speech grew pale and whispered into the intercom. Then, maintaining composure, she turned to the audience.
We're terribly sorry for the inconvenience.
I apologize for the inconvenience. Director Ezra's speech has unfortunately been postponed until 3 hours from now. However, the exhibition opening will continue as planned. Feel free to explore. This was supposed to be his moment.
He is late?
Is he doing some mushroom research and cannot move for the time being? Mesmer Jr. frowned as the assistant rushed off backstage.
This is not good.
This isn't good. First impressions matter in social interactions. And from what I know of Ezra, he cares about these things. Well, I think it could all turn out to be a blessing in disguise. Who remembers a speech delivered on time? A late director will be much more memorable than a punctual one. That is also not wrong. He doesn't need any gimmicks. His exhibits are all excellent, enough to make everyone remember the new director of the Laplace Museum. Look over there. X pointed to the other end of the display case, where two staff members in gray-white uniforms stood in front of the glass showcase. One of them was pressed against the glass, nose almost touching it.
Oh dear.
Oh, I've never seen a rutile nugget this big.
This is the real good stuff.
Mr. Rye usually exhibits specimens from the botanical garden, but this is the real deal.
Have you met him yet?
This new director seems to have some fresh ideas. Have you met him? No, nearly as soon as he came from the Australian branch, he set off to the snowy mountains. Not many people have seen him. But everyone's curious why he chose this theme. His previous research was on endemic fungi in Australia. This seems completely unrelated. Huh, so this is taking place after? When Ezra comes back to Laplace? I guess. Well, now he's starting to impress me.
It's impossible.
An amateur researcher in search of minerals on a solo mission to a snow-capped mountain. Sounds like the beginning of a pulp adventure. Shifting their gaze, the young researcher nodded in satisfaction.
Look!
See? Everyone's enthralled by him.
What's wrong?
What's wrong, Mesmer?
Nothing.
Oh, it's nothing. I was just thinking. He really did it.
I
never thought he would succeed. Uh-huh. Oh, to be continued. Okay. Okay, you little Whoa. Kierag much? Okay. I see 4 parts. This is gonna be very short then. Huh. Black Lake. Gear? What is gear? Oh. Dowsing rod, slingshot scope, oxygen mask, fungus ecosystem machine. Okay, there's a level up thing to this. Okay. Okay, this is locked. Atlas? Oh my lord, what am I looking at? Uh-huh. Tasks? Oh, this is just complete stuff. Okay. Actually, wait, does this tell me stage 1, 2, 3, 4? Huh, only 4 stages, huh? I guess this is gonna be quick then? Well, anyway, Black Lake. That's cute. Starting altitude 1600 meters, targeted altitude 2500 meters, maximum altitude 2900 meters. Okay, the lake's surface is like a mirror cast from obsidian, its shadows concealed by clouds and mist. Beneath the water lies another world. Treading on its thin and fragile ice leads you to a land of frost and snow. Okay, okay. Rutile, rare collectible. The most common form of natural occurring titanium dioxide and an important mineral in the extraction of titanium. Surfaces processed from rutile can improve the sensitivity of dowsing rod gas sensors. Okay. Mandrake. Also known as Devil's Candle, Circle's Plant, or Mandragora, and primarily due to a legend that it shines at night. Some say that tea made from mandrake leaves can have a calming effect on the mind. Aha. Alpine Aster, a flower possessing soft purple roots. Alpine Aster is often used in the production of natural aromatic essential oils, said to relieve pressure and refresh the mind. Okay. Alpine Pasque flower? Pasque flower? I don't know. Also known as Alpine Anemone. This flower blooms relatively early in the season and often blooms when still covered in snow. Brimming with vitality, it usually grows in thick layers of loam soil in sunny regions and is not fond of excessively humid environments. Okay. Time to follow the little man on a mountain climbing adventure, I guess. Change of the coils.
Hello.
Hello, I'm here to check in. I made a reservation over the phone a couple of days ago.
Mr. Theodore, right?
Call me Ezra. Go straight down the corridor and you'll find a room at the end of your, on your right. The director has been waiting for quite some time. Office Laplace.
Hello, young man.
Holy detail. He reminds me of Mr. Fantastic. This guy reminds me of Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four. With those highlights and everything. Alright. Hello, young man.
Hello.
Dr. Ryan. I've read of the impressive things you've accomplished in the papers, from the Reincarnator to the Uluru games. Okay, so yeah, this is taking place after the Uluru games.
This is something most humans cannot achieve. I believe you're qualified to be the curator of the Laplace Museum.
Interesting accent. Is that one of the many UK accents for English, or not? Sounds kind of like it.
Thank you.
Thank you for your confidence, Doctor.
But
I'm not sure I'm ready. I'm only a researcher. I don't have any experience in management.
Relax.
Don't worry, my boy. Dr. Ryan stepped out from behind the desk and led Ezra to a bookshelf.
Look.
From the first row here to the last volume at the end of the shelf, these will be all the experience you need.
what is this?
Notes on management? Yes, precisely. Every note taken from the very first day of the Laplace Museum until this very day is kept here. You'll have plenty of time to dive into them, get familiar, and gain that experience. But not right now.
Now, you must put it into practice on your own.
I will.
So, I'm to take charge of holding an exhibition, right? I caught wind of it through the Laplace liaison. Exactly that, my boy. You might organize an exhibition focused on your Australian fungi, or perhaps bring that long research story on the Reincarnator into the spotlight. Both very worthy of showcasing.
But
No, Dr. Ryan, not those. The young man shook his head slowly but firmly, then set about expressing his own idea.
I think
I want to put together an exhibition created around the ecology of snowy alpine mountains.
Mountain?
Snow Mountain. That's somewhat unexpected.
yes,
Snowy mountains, yes.
I will.
I intend to climb the Alps, Matterhorn, to be precise, from the north, collecting plants and minerals to bring back to the museum for display. Ezra had made a checklist. He came prepared. I've got here an itinerary, a distribution of exhibit items to be found in the Alps, and a climate comparison for this month with previous years. Take a look. This is a worthwhile plan. You thought through the potential dangers and avoided the trickiest approaches. It all seems feasible. But, why?
I don't understand.
What do you mean by why? Why pick the ecology of snow-capped alpine mountains as your exhibition's theme?
Look.
You've spent years on Australian fungi and a gripping story in the Reincarnator. Why would you propose this instead?
I know.
Director Ryan, I know how I've been portrayed in academic journals and other written sources. The mycologist from Australia.
It is without doubt that...
I'm happy to share my mycology research with my colleagues to show off the results of my years of work.
But
this time is different. My choice of exhibition theme holds a special meaning to me.
don't worry.
Trust me, my decision to go with the Snowy Mountains theme was carefully considered.
I don't recommend that.
As director of the Laplace Museum, I wouldn't recommend taking on such a challenge for your first step.
Relax.
But my time in that role has already passed. The decision-making power for your exhibit lies in your hands now. The young take risks, revel in adventures, and we need that boldness. As for an old gentleman like me, risks lie in my past. I had a peaceful life and quality time with my granddaughter. Okay. Mesmer Jr. stood outside the office door, clasping her hands together, taking deep breaths as if trying to calm herself.
Good.
Don't worry, it's all done now. Oh. Don't worry, it's all done now. You can finally relax. An unexpected visitor entered.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Did I startle you?
What?
Why are you here? And who brought you? Another Laplace researcher. They told me I could wait for you to finish your work here.
You shouldn't.
If you wanted a consultation on artificial somnambulism, you should have gone through the proper registration process and waited for your appointment, rather than slinking into my office without a word. What is going on here? She stood in a corner, not budging an inch. Around her hung an air of sharpness, accented by disinfectant. But Esther was accustomed to diffusing tense situations.
I'm sorry.
Apologies for my abruptness, Miss Mesmer Jr. I'm Ezra, the new director of the Laplace Museum. I've been waiting for the chance to ask for a favor. Ezra? I think I've heard that name before. Yeah, Ezra of the Uluru Games. I've read about you in the reports. A mycology researcher and a pure-blooded human?
That's right.
You've got me. The girl nodded cautiously where she stood.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, did I disturb you? If you would like, I can provide emotional reassurance and counseling. When two counselors meet. I did this sort of thing back at the Australian branch. I'm here to help, if you're open to it.
I don't need.
No, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Her stance relaxed a bit, and she moved to the sofa before taking a seat in the corner. So, what's this favor? I'm afraid I don't know much about managing museums, nor planning exhibitions. I'm not sure how I could be of much use to you.
Don't worry.
No, Miss Mesmer Jr., I'm actually seeking your expertise in magnetism, or more specifically, the magnetic field. Ezra took off his backpack and pulled out a divining rod.
Found it.
This is my divining rod. Thanks to Laplace's tech, it can sense the magnetic fields of organisms and fungi nearby and guide me to traces of their activity. It's been my trusty sidekick through rainforests, reefs, and valleys. But I've found that in high altitude, its accuracy starts to drop, making my work more challenging. I thought dear you might help me figure this out.
Good.
I'll do my best. Mesmer Jr. extended her left hand, waving her electrically calibrated glove beneath the divining rod. On the edge where her glove met the cuff, there was a small red scratch clearly visible. The wavelength diagram looks complete. Now let's change the parameters to simulate low pressure conditions. Yeah, you are right. Malfunctions might occur during changes in altitude. That's probably because being closer to the upper atmosphere reduces the protection from I guess sun radiation. Would that be it? Like you're basically closer to the particles emitted from the sun hitting the electrical field around the planet, the magnetic field, and being dispersed around it. So maybe that's it.
Fabulous.
It's not a serious issue. A simple magnetic field enchantment would properly calibrate it. I can contact Evan from Laplace's laboratory number 2 to sort this out for you.
Are you listening?
Ezra, are you listening?
Oh.
I am. Sorry, I got a bit distracted. As if a student called out by the teacher, the boy straightened up, refocusing his attention. Will the enchantment be stable if I were to climb further, say to ultra-high altitudes, above 3,500 meters?
What?
Ultra-high altitudes? Where are you planning to go? The Matterhorn.
You're going to...
You're climbing the Matterhorn?
Yes.
Yes, I'm aiming to collect specimens needed for the upcoming exhibition.
You shouldn't.
That isn't a wise plan, Ezra. I know humans have strong physical endurance than Arcanists, but so many foreseeable risks: altitude sickness, snowstorms, avalanches, native beasts or critters. Mesmer Jr. tugged at her sleeve, her hands itching.
Of course.
Yes, the journey will undoubtedly be very challenging. In contrast, the boy had a calm and determined demeanor. That's why I came to seek your help. I must be prepared for everything to make this crazy plan a reality.
I must...
It's worth the risk for me.
Okay, I got it.
Then no one can stop you. You're determined to climb that mountain, right? I have a hard time understanding people like you, risk seekers, but I can't stop you. Well, she was quickly convinced. She lowers her head, taking a deep breath. During the journey, if you're lucky enough, you might find a deep red, reflective metallic vein in the granite bodies on both sides of the mountain ridge. That's rutile, natural titanium dioxide. Once processed, its surface can enhance its sensors, solving the thorny problem you face. With it, the sensing range of the divining rod will be significantly expanded, even capable of penetrating thick snow cover and complex rock layers. It will be your guiding star in finding those rare specimens. Okay, so that's why this thing is important. Ezra left, and Mesmer Jr. turned off the lights and the text auto-scrolls. Ezra left and Mesmer Jr. turned off the lights in the room after him. There in the darkness, she stared at this sickbed, as if examining an invisible patient.
Quiet down, okay? Stop talking or laughing.
Uh-huh? She shook her head forcefully, as if attempting to throw off some tainted mark.
I need to wash my hands.
Where did I put the disinfectant? Oh, right, wasn't she a germaphobe or something? Or I'm thinking of someone else. Okay, I will have to read her anecdote at some point as well. Because I'm very interested in both her and the entire Mesmer family. Oh. Retreat! Status backpack? Status? Okay. Backpack, nothing in it. Altitude current, remaining AC 120. Uh-huh. Okay. Turning the corner of the mountain road, you come across a lake formed by glacial meltwater. Oh, is this a like choose your adventure style thing? Top up water supplies, collect a water sample, mark location. You come across a lake formed by glacial meltwater. Mark the location. No impact. You mark the location on the, of the lake on the map. Okay. Okay, we're climbing. A group of Eurasian lynx block your path, hungrily awaiting the perfect prey. Scare them off, defend, and prepare to fight back. Throw out some food for them. Scare them off. No impact. You yell at the beasts blocking the way, throwing stones, and drive them off. Okay. Interesting. A gas stove designed for mountaineering has been discarded on the roadside. The remaining fuel could still last for a while longer. Cook. AC +5. You cook some of the ingredients you brought with you. Warm luxuries fill your very body with strength once more. Okay. You discover a cave ahead, a natural shelter from the wind and snow. The sound of wild beasts can be heard coming from inside the cave, but you feel too exhausted to tempt fate. Drive away the beasts in the cave, set up camp at the entrance, keep moving forward. Drive away the beasts in the cave. Oh, hey. You put your life on the line, driving away the wild beasts in the cave. This takes some time, but you are fortunate enough to make some unexpected gains in the process. Drive away the beasts. Okay, AC -3. Obtain Alpine Pesca Flower. ×6. Okay, good. The broken cable bridge between the cliffs blocks your way forward. Attempt to repair, climb around, find another route. Find another route. No impact, you have to find another way. You discover a tunnel formed by the melting of ice and snow. You have no idea where it will lead. Venture inside, record location but don't go in, observe from entrance. Record location but don't go in. You do not intend to enter the tunnel and simply make a note of its location before continuing along your original route. Okay. The wind and snow are increasing in intensity. A blizzard will soon arrive. Camp right here, look for shelter, look for shelter. You find a cave where you can escape the wind and snow. Turning the corner of the mountain road, you come across a lake formed by glacial meltwater. Oh, we're back to this. Okay, so this didn't give an impact. Top up water supplies. AC +5. You plan to stop there briefly to stock up on fresh water, then continue on your way. You spy an abandoned mountaineer's hut, which may be used as a temporary shelter. Search for supplies. You carefully search the abandoned cabin and unexpectedly find some usable climbing ropes and grappling hooks beneath a pile of wooden boards. This will undoubtedly make a valuable addition to your mountaineering equipment. Okay. Advance. A gas stove designed for mountaineering. Okay, same thing. Cook. AC +5. Running out of AC. The wind and snow are increasing intensity. Walk faster. Okay, AC -5. You brave the wind and snow to continue moving forward, hoping to reach your destination as soon as possible. The terrible weather has consumed a great deal of your energy and you still have a long way to go before you can reach your final destination. Well, I was close, so what happens now? Insufficient AC. Okay. Okay, dowsing rod, I see. That was the thing we got. Safe retreat. Okay. I got the thing. Oh, and a cutscene. Okay. This was interesting. Part 2. Circe's plant?
He found it?
He found the rutile?
Okay. I got
Alright,
it.
I understand. Prepare the remaining materials to enhance the divining rod for him. Is he still with you?
What?
Not anymore. Where could he have gone? Excuse me, Miss Mesmer Jr. I can feel the energy coming in from her right now. Here, have some hot water, and this is a blanket. Wrap yourself in it. The boy, disheveled and with reddened cheeks from the cold, stumbled in.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Climbing a mountain is far from a walk in the park, you know. But congratulations on your success. The rutile sample you've provided is excellent in size and purity. Just a small piece will strengthen your divining rod.
Yes.
Yes, I got lucky. Ezra held the hot water, his smiling face obscured by steam.
Found it.
And I found this. A mandrake. What is this?
That's right.
Mandrake, also known as a mandrake root or Circe's plant in some places. It's a standard 12 inches with oval leaves and bell-shaped white flowers. I deliberately kept some of its leaves. Since the Middle Ages, Arcanists have used mandrake leaves to craft soothing teas, a gentle and safer practice than consuming its roots. It has a long history.
Fabulous.
An interesting tale, but I don't understand why you've brought it to me. Perhaps it could be used for your snowy mountain ecology exhibition, but my artificial somnambulism patients have no need for mandrake hallucinogens. A self-depreciating smile appears on Mesmer's face. Her sense of humor always a little offbeat.
Yes.
Yes, it could be a good exhibit item. I'll set up a spot for it in the exhibition hall, prepare the soil, and use calming sprays to keep it from waking up halfway through the exhibition and emitting its piercing screams. But before that, I thought I might leave half of its leaves for you, Miss Mesmer. His face beams like a flower in sunlight.
I don't need
these. I'm not a plant researcher, nor am I in the hobby of collecting such specimens. Mesmer Jr. looked at the mandrake cluster. And frankly, it's ugly. Ugly? Ezra widened his eyes with shock.
I didn't know.
I think mandrakes are one of the cuter types of plants used in potions. They have a human shape, and people often prefer things that are humanesque, like dolls or the subjects of paintings. Oh, Ezra. Somewhat embarrassed, he fumbled the mandrake on the table back into his pocket.
Oh, please.
You have a peculiar tastes. Mesmer Jr. placed her hands on her knees, taking a deep breath. So you put down the rutile and rushed half frozen into my office without looking back, all to show me this mandrake?
Yes.
Mesmer, having exhausted her questions, fell silent, unwilling to speak further on the matter. Whenever two intelligent people stumble over a subject for too long without finding agreement, it's usually best discarded. I just wanted to give you, an option. It was a concession. The option to take it.
But
I understand. You don't need it for now, at least. Still, if you change your mind, please, let me know. Ezra stood up shakily, looking at his wristwatch.
I must.
I gotta go now. I have another meeting... Oh. I have another meeting with some colleagues. Be careful. Your body's still weak. You should rest a bit more.
Don't worry.
I'm fine. Just a bit tired. Don't worry about me. Ezra shook his head once and then shook it again, almost to convince himself.
I must.
There's not much time left to prepare for the exhibition. I have to make the most of every moment. He stood up once again, much more carefully this time, his movements slow and deliberate. Glancing back at the door, Ezra bowed slightly and then bid farewell.
Thank you.
Thank you for your help, Miss Mesmer Jr. Without your guidance, my journey would have been much more difficult, and perhaps I would have been unable to successfully detect the plants I need. You have been the driving force behind the Snowy Mountain Ecology exhibition.
I will.
Later in the evening, I'll have my assistant send over tickets to the exhibition. What a polite little goofball.
Dr. Mesmer, there's a package for you to sign for.
A letter for me?
A package? Where is it from? It was received by the front desk just after Director Ezra left. He asked me to deliver it to you.
Good.
I'll pick it up later. The package was light, containing 2 tubes of pale yellow hand cream in aluminum packaging, along with a note.
The hand cream is made from honey in Sydney.
I noticed some wounds on your wrists. Moisturizing them could help with healing. I don't know much when it comes to skincare products, but I hope you don't mind the scent.
Yours sincerely, Ezra.
What a wholesome little goofball. What a good little guy. Okay, then. Ah, okay. Interesting. I guess all of those are gonna have like a before and after part, I guess? Okay, wait, what are the other tasks then? Complete 3 record adventures, complete 5, complete 10. Complete all events in missing persons. Alpine Shepherd, Researcher Dispatchy, The Masked Hunter, Others. Okay, leveling up stuff, guidebook catalog. Okay. But what's in here? These 2 things. Okay. I see. Okay. Let's continue this. So, Mountaineers Retreat. Altitude 2,500, target altitude 3,200, maximum altitude 3,600. Okay. Oh yeah, wait. Okay, I think I did reach the required altitude last time. Wasn't paying attention, so I need to get to over 3,200, basically 3,300, I guess. Okay. Sailor of the World.
Looks like...
Ezra's a thoughtful kid. He seems to really care about you. In case you didn't realize, let me point it out. He's worried about your anxiety and notices everything about you.
Oh, please.
Just because I have to deal with crazy people doesn't mean I'm one of them. If you had half of Ezra's ability to read people, you might understand my reluctance about this.
I wouldn't turn him down if I were you.
X shifted his posture slightly, his gaze moving to a display case in the distance. Surrounded by companion plants, a cluster of white-flowered white dryads, or dryas, octopetala, as it was labeled, was in full bloom.
And I...
It might sound a bit iffy, but if some young kid dragged themselves weather-beaten and food poisoned to me just to find a way to ease my stress, I'd be more appreciative. Food poisoned?
As far as I know...
From what I heard, he got caught in a blizzard while hunting for those mandrakes. To stay warm, our mycologist had to eat slices of Trichoderma cornudamae from the Australian desert. Soon after, he developed a feverish spike in body temperature. It was his way of playing it safe, and it worked out. He braved the blizzard and unearthed that gorgeous mandrake.
Okay, I got it.
So that's why he seems so weak. I should have guessed.
But...
Don't fret too much. He knows how to take care of himself. After the blizzard cleared, he immediately downed some red flower prickly pear juice to clear out the mushroom's toxins before they could do real damage. By the time he showed up at my door, he was halfway recovered from the poisoning. Halfway? And then you two got into all that talk about guns and such.
Technically,
it wasn't really a gun. But it did shoot a kind of bullet, like little seeds or balls of steel or crystal. Uh-huh. What did you make?
got it.
Got it. It must have ticked all your boxes and left you feeling pleased.
What is this?
This is a slingshot?
Technically?
Exactly. It's called the air-compressed spring slingshot.
Look!
You see, it's compact and lightweight, and you don't need any fancy arcane skills to use it. The Rube Goldberg inside the copper tube handle does all the work for you. X pulled back the slingshot at the sound, and the small spring spanning across the rubber ducky emitted a soft hum, ready to unleash a chunk of butter. Butter? All you have to do is aim and release. It's that simple. The slingshot's bullets come in different flavors, ranging from electric zaps to tiny blasts, scatter shots, and piercing rounds.
So?
And as long as your aim isn't dreadful, you'll be more or less safe from any mountain critters.
I didn't know.
I never thought a slingshot could be so powerful.
Welcome to Laplace.
Welcome to the LSCC, Laplace Scientific Computing Center, headquarters, where even a shoe sole can hide a foldable explosive.
But
from what I've heard, the Australian branch is even wilder than here. I mean, have you seen the wildlife in Australia? Have you seen the size of their spiders? I would not leave the house there without a flamethrower. Sorry, Australia.
Yes.
Well, you could say that. Ezra lounged back on the couch, next to him a steaming cup of tea. He took a careful sip, then winced as it burned his tongue.
But
I'm not a part of the research department. Technically, I'm a microbiologist, not a inventor. And I'm sorry I didn't explain what I needed, Mr. X. Ezra shuffled in his seat, searching out a comfortable position before straightening up a bit.
I think...
I don't need lethal weapons.
But
you do need something to scare all the mountain beasts.
Yes.
Yes, I suppose I just need to make them go away for a while. That should do it. They might follow you, you know? Beasts can be persistent when protecting their territory. I only need them to leave me alone, just for a little while.
I didn't know.
I wouldn't like to kill them or maim them. You know, I'm planning an exhibition about snowy mountain ecology. If I harmed any local wildlife for this exhibition or disrupted their natural ecosystem, it would defeat the purpose.
Alright.
Oh, okay. Excite, taking a seat.
Looks like...
The reports and rumors are true. You really are an incredible kind kid. He tossed the magazine onto the couch and pulled out a square plastic bag from his jacket pocket.
Come on.
Take this. You won't need bullets anymore.
What is this?
The Little Gardener Bellflower Seed Home Cultivation Kit?
That's right.
That's right, Bellflower. With his hand lifted high, X stretched lazily, as if he were a cat basking in the warmth of a sunny afternoon. You can use these inconspicuous little grass seeds as bullets. They're light and blunt enough. They won't cut flesh or leave a gash, but they'll startle most animals just fine. Paired with the air-compressed spring slingshots thwack, they should scare off any critters you encounter.
That's great!
That's perfect. Exactly what I need. The kind-hearted boy practically bounced off the sofa with excitement, but then... Whoa! He tumbled back down. My head... I'm so dizzy.
It's a normal symptom.
The red flower prickly pear juice as an antidote induces dizziness about 3 hours after consumption. They should have warned you about that when you picked them up from the stationery department. X lifted the teapot, refilling Ezra's cup with piping hot tea.
Come on.
Here, have some more tea. It'll make you feel better.
Oh,
Did you brew the tea because you knew I'd be dizzy? To help ease the medicine's effects and to be a good host. 2 birds with 1 stone.
But...
Still, I suggest you don't rush to leave. I know you're tight on time, but rest is crucial. You can stay here until the dizziness subsides.
I know.
I understand. I do need rest. I'll stay here until my body recovers and I'm ready for my next climb. Ezra cradled the teacup, the light brown liquid swaying within.
What is this?
This aroma. Is this dryad tea? No, it's not. Although they both smell like melted snow, this is just a warming tea made with croton gratissimus and ginger sting.
I wish I could.
If I could, I'd make dryad tea for you. A cup of that and you'll be back on your feet in no time. That way, you wouldn't have to languish here, chatting aimlessly with researchers.
I didn't know.
Oh, don't say that. I'm happy to talk with you. Ezra struggled to get up from the sofa, but X softly nudged him back into the corner.
Sorry.
I was just joking, kid. You know what humor is, right? Well, scratch that. I should have known that humans lack the talent.
I know.
Wow. I know plenty of jokes. I'm just not good at telling them. The boy murmured softly as he sipped his tea, huddled into the corner of the sofa. I asked my mom why once. She just said she's not good at telling jokes either. Even though my friends say stereotypes don't hold true, it feels like my whole family fits the bill. We're not exactly masters of humor. Well, good humor is only a small part of life. It doesn't matter. The Arcanist said with a wave of his hand. So, you lack humor, but you have other strengths.
You mean...
Stubbornness. X blinked. I'm not saying you lack skills, but from what I gather, you're incredibly determined. You discussed your fantastical plan with Dr. Ryan, wrote out your proposal and executed it meticulously. Of course, all things a competent curator should do. But beyond that, you turned down all of the help the Laplace Scientific Computing Center offered. Take our current predicament, for instance. Those beasts and birds of prey dwelling in the mountains.
I wish I could.
If you wanted to handle things simply, Laplace's task force could clear your path with just 3 sets of tranquilizer darts.
But
Sure, it might take some time for the task force to prepare an operational plan and acquire the necessary equipment.
That's right.
And indeed, they'd need a little time, but they work fast and wouldn't hold up your journey. Your real reason for refusing them isn't that.
yes,
Right, I have to personally collect these specimens and climb that mountain under my own power. It's the centerpiece of the exhibition, the thing I must accomplish.
So?
So, you believe in hands-on experience when it comes to getting things done?
of course.
Certainly, just as all naturalists must venture into nature. If you stay away from nature, nature stays away from you. That's why that's what my teacher taught me. Isn't that right? No, it's absolutely right for you. But the world isn't just made up of natural phenomena. There are other manifestations of wisdom as well. Like the hand behind the screens, manipulating the switches.
Look!
Look here. X reached out, rubbing his thumb against his index finger, and a small golden bead appeared in his hand. I could toss this bead, and it would collide between the teacup and the teapot. After that, it would ricochet to the right, knocking down the upright book on the table, which in turn would tug on a fishing line, rotating the gas stove switch 75 degree in a room 3 doors down, and starting to heat a pot of water. As the water boils, the rising steam would melt the chocolate hanging on the cabinet, and the dominoes, now lighter, would stumble down the ventilation shaft to the 6th room downstairs. Downstairs in the 6th room. That's Medicine Pocket's research lab. What would happen then? The glass by the potted plants would tip over, spilling water into the soil, and the glass would shatter on the floor. All this just to water some plants?
That's right.
Yes, although it costs a glass, the potted flower won't wither from thirst. That was an interesting way to put it, The master of Rube Goldberg mechanics extends his hand, causing the golden bead in the center of his glove to sway before steadying. Do you want to throw this bead?
Me? I think...
I suppose not. Ezra eyed the golden bead in bewilderment, as if it were a monumental choice. He hesitated but still spoke up. If I need to water that flower, I can just go downstairs, pick up the glass, and pour the water into it. That would save the glass. Don't worry. I'm not lecturing you on how to do things. I'm just curious. I'm just curious why you want to choose the most troublesome, most arduous paths. Any researcher with hands-on experience would want to use our technology. We're all from Laplace after all, and no matter which branch, we stand at the intersection of technology and arcane skill, pursuing a great fusion. No one in their right mind would refuse a ladder when climbing simply because it was his habit not to use technology. This is a very interesting conversation. Ezra closed his eyes, falling silent, then reopened them.
But this time, it's different.
But because the mountain is special to me. I first learned about it from my family's archives and the stories my mother used to tell me. You could say it's a childhood obsession, but either way, It's something I've longed for since I was a very, very little child.
Got it.
Childhood obsessions. A common theme. The tilted teapot no longer poured fresh tea. It was light, as if there had been nothing left inside.
And I
knew a child just like you. He also loved the mountains, but unlike you, his yearning for them stems from his love of a particular flower, the white dryads. Those small white flowers with yellow pistils covered his childhood picture book. To him, they represented almost every virtue imaginable. X set down the teapot and stood up from the sofa.
Come on.
Stand up and try your legs, Ezra. It's about time. Thank you. Yeah, you're right. The dizziness is gone. I think it's the hot tea. It really got me to sweat out all those toxins. The boy stretched his body, feeling full of vitality again.
That's great!
I feel almost like I've never poisoned myself. I think I could set off again right away. I won't stop you. I'm not your doctor. The Arcanist opened the door as if releasing a bird about to take flight.
I wish I could.
But if you have some free time, try to enjoy the scenery on the mountain for me. Perhaps there are some lovely white dryads there. Perhaps not. But it doesn't matter. Just go and take a look. This was a very interesting conversation between these two. Oh.
And then...
So, you're just letting him off the hook like that?
Look!
I've told you, I'm not a doctor. It's not my job to look after his health. Giving him some hot tea was about as considerate as could be expected of me. Innocent as ever. X shrugged with a smile.
Hey, stop it.
That's not what I meant. He didn't water my plants, and you still haven't tossed that silly beet either. Now I'll probably come back to a bunch of dead plants.
Technically?
That's not any of our responsibilities, Medicine Pocket. If you want to keep plants, you've got to take care of them yourself. Just like you do with your lab samples.
I have to remind you.
Those plants aren't my lab samples. My current project isn't about pest control for plants.
Oh, please.
Let's put an end to this pointless argument and talk about what happened next. Uh-huh. I wonder if Madpack is gonna say what their next project is, because considering all of this is past chapter 7, 8 and so on. Okay. Starting AC 130, I need to reach 3260. Okay. Well then. You stumble upon the half-eaten remains of a goat. The pungent smell of blood indicates the approximate time the goat died. The tragedy occurred within the past 3 days. Slice the goat's flesh, observe the remains, observe the environment. Observe the environment. You find a bloodstained arrowhead on the snow nearby. AC cost when advancing -2? Nice! Wait, let me see. Backpack? No. Status? Oh, yeah. Oh, stage effect. AC cost when advancing +2? Well, I kinda counterbalanced that just now. A wolf lies on your path forward. Its fur is dark, and its hind legs is caught in an animal trap, rendering it unable to move. Try and help? You try to open the trap and rescue the wolf. It looks at you and then turns into the distance. Although you scratched your hand saving it, you still think it was worth it. Plus AC +3, obtain Moss Campion. Nice. A child's cry sounds from behind you. You recognize this figure. It's the bow-wielding shepherd boy who was hiding in the bushes, the one you gave some bread. Did I give some bread? Was that an event that didn't occur yet? Anyway, ask for supplies, gather information. The boy's parents run a ranch by the lake. Being kind people, they went up the mountain with the visiting Foundation fieldworker. There has been no word from them since. AC +5, nice. Okay. You come across some mountaineering equipment buried in the snow. It looks somewhat damaged, but it might still be of use. Gear up. You select the equipment you need and make some simple repairs to help you with your ascent. AC -3. Okay, maybe it's gonna come back. As you rest, a group of frenzied antelope charge at you from afar. Watch and wait, avoid them with haste, follow them. Watch and wait. The antelope stop nearby and begin to graze. You watch them silently, breathing a sigh of relief. Okay, no impact. Alright, getting there. A mountaineer walks directly into your path. He tells you that he has found a rare and precious plant and hopes to trade it with you for supplies. Deal, explain the difference, politely refuse. Explain the difference. You explain to him the difference between this plant and the precious plant he claimed it to be. Although they look somewhat similar, their effects are quite different. The mountaineer thanks you and leaves. AC +5, nice. You pass by a cliff and notice that the protruding stone on its edge is perfect for standing on and taking in the view. Move forward resolutely, stop and take in the view, observe carefully. Stop and take in the view. You cautiously step on the stone and leap back onto solid ground in a panic. Just moments before it breaks. Luckily you are at least still in one piece. Obtain Moss Campion. Okay, more of that. You hear the sound of ice breaking. Your experience tells you that an avalanche is coming. Look for shelter. You find a huge rock nearby and manage to survive the crisis. AC +5, nice. Hey, that's the required height. Or the max height, rather. A wolf lies on your path. Okay, let's try the other option. Leave quickly. No impact. You worry that a wolf pack might still be lurking nearby, plus you don't have the tools to open the trap. You are left with no choice but to walk away. Okay. A mountaineer is resting nearby. He shares his observations with you. He tells you that a rare plant can be found on the cliff ahead. Go ahead and take a look. You search among the cracks with great difficulty for a long time and find a medicinal plant commonly used to stop bleeding. Although it is not exactly rare, finding anything here and can still be considered a fine result. AC +5. Nice. Okay, this is gonna be the last one probably. You come across some mountaineering equipment. Okay, let's see. Leave it where it is. Ignore it. Leave it where it is. Your current equipment is good enough. You decide to leave the equipment for someone who needs it more. Okay, and that's as far as I can take it. Save retreat. Nice. God, the dogs are barking again so loud. Old Acquaintance, Part 4. God, they're so loud. Ezra returned to the computing center and headed straight for X's office. Oh, it's you, you're back. At that moment, X was busy trying to extract a gold tooth from a skull. Focused as he was on the task at hand, he didn't bother to look up, but he didn't forget to ask. Is my little contraption still doing the job?
Of course.
Perfectly. It's worked better than any slingshot I've used before. It didn't hurt any animals, but I managed to scare them away. It's really come in handy. It's my pleasure, Director. Ha! The gold tooth was finally dislodged and shot up high into the air. Then it came down, slow and steady, landing on X's palm.
Done.
There, now I can actually focus and listen to what you have to say. What's this? I stumbled upon this Dryas octopetala, white dryad on a cliff behind a beast's den. It's not the typical season for Dryas octopetala to bloom, so I only spotted this one. To make sure it doesn't wither, I placed it along with its surrounding vegetation in my foraging box. Though, when it was first placed in the box, it did show signs of withering. I was taken aback at first, but then I quickly realized I could solve the problem. The gold tooth fell into a tin can, along with the gold bead, a die, and some crumpled paper. That's an interesting collection. It's beautiful, just as I imagined.
That's great!
You like it? Great! Please accept it as a gift, Mr. X. For me? X paused, silently pointing to himself with a questioning expression. You're giving me the flower?
Yes.
Yes, I thought I might give it to you.
But
what about your exhibition? The Dryas octopetala would make for a fantastic addition. You climbed the mountain to find these plants, to present them in your exhibition, right?
That's right.
That's right. My task is to collect exotic plants from the mountain.
But
I picked the white Dryas for you. You generously helped me solve my problem, and this is my way of thanking you. Ezra nodded, then nodded again.
of course.
Of course, you could also give it to that kid you know, the one who's so fond of these flowers. I'm sure he'd be thrilled to see this flower. It might only be a small part of my exhibition, but for him, it'll mean a lot more. The handful of pure white flowers held in the child's hands were lifted up high. He looked devout and sincere, almost like an angel. He just needed a white robe and a trumpet to complete the image. Really. Ezra, do you know what white Dryas symbolizes in the East?
You mean...
Symbolize? I've ever heard them referred to as the flower of warmth and kindness. Is there another meaning behind them?
as far as I know,
In the East, Dryas octopetala is associated with health and longevity because of their resilience in harsh environments and prolonged blooming seasons. Among the Arcanists who live near the mountains, there is a custom of braining white dryads into children's hair to ensure happiness and a long life. X reached out and took the Dryas octopetala from Ezra's hand. I met that kid back in the orphanage. I was 11 at the time, and he was 9.
Oh,
Oh, so it goes back to your pasts from those days. Now I'm 16. And he didn't get to be 10. Oh.
so?
I have no need for this flower. Oh. That's sad. No?
You shouldn't.
Remember when you said you wouldn't turn down his gift if you were in my shoes? Our situation's a bit different. He's a good kid, I'll give you that. At first I was teasing him, but once I got to know him, I started to genuinely like him. I want his exhibition to succeed, and honestly, I don't need that flower. X glanced away toward the crowd gathering around the Dryas octopetala display. See, a beauty like that flower deserves to be right here, under the spotlight, encased in that high transparency glass. It'll wow everyone, But your words probably hurt him.
Technically?
I never meant to deceive him, but lying's easy, and I'm pretty well versed in it. But you know, I grew up in an orphanage, always surrounded by kids. He's so young that I feel a pang of guilt looking into his eyes, yet mature enough to handle the truth.
I would take that flower if I were you.
It's gorgeous, easy to care for, and it'll make both of you happy. Plus, it could be a part of your complicated contraptions. Brewing dry tea with a dollop of butter beats regular tea any day.
Sorry.
Hey, you can't exact such a kind-hearted lad to be so selfish, only focus on his research. I'm not that heartless of a scholar.
Fine. I see.
Oh,
Seems like...
apparently I am. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh!
Oh! Oh, I heard you're heading to the snowy mountains. Got any room in your backpack? The gust moved around as if it was a home from home, and a host didn't mind. The door bounced off against the wall. Still rattling his medicine pocket sank into the gewest sofa.
Of course.
Sure, I'm leaving for the snowy mountains in 20 minutes. I could squeeze in an extra bag for you. The young man flashed a grin as he packed, welcoming his friend officially.
Welcome.
Welcome to my very own turf, medicine pocket. This is the first time we're meeting since I moved to HQ. I thought about saying hello earlier, but with the exhibition prep and handovers, I couldn't find the time.
Hey, stop it.
Don't sweat it, we're not the kind of phony friends who need to catch up often to stay close. A hand popped up from behind the crest of the sofa, followed by a leg. You've got something more important than small talk.
Yes.
Sure thing, go ahead, I'm listening. I'm working on a project, top secret. You're the only one I'm telling, so keep it under wraps. I'm talking about human stamina supplements. Sort of like Picrasma candy for humans. Right now, we've hit a snag in our sourcing.
And you, friend.
My friend? Now an excited head popped out from the sofa's edge. Your snowy mountain trip could be a big help. Remember why I went to Australia?
Of course.
Of course, I was the one who told you to head to the Crock and Roll bookstore to hunt down a fragment of the potion analysis handbook.
Bingo.
Great memory. Keep working that brain. It's good for avoiding dementia. I've been studying those fragments since I got back from Australia, and I managed to recover the formula for one of the potions.
It's...
The first one? Or the one about mushrooms on page 23?
Neither.
Neither. It's right at the end. The page is a mess, but it contains a recipe for bone-melting sacramental wine. Bone-melting sacramental wine, given by the priests. Bone-melting. Those who drink it at night, with eyes shining like stars, struggle to hold it down, vomiting until they're nothing more than bones. But those who drink it during the day, with fingertips glowing and hot, can walk for miles on end and gain boundless strength.
You mean...
So you figure the night people are Arcanists and the day people are regular folks? Is this a restorative potion crafted specifically for humans?
Uh-huh.
It looks like it, especially if you consider the local culture and the history of Arcanism. The moon, night tides, all that yin stuff usually associated with emotions, inspiration, and omens, which are definitely part of the Arcanists. And in contrast, the sun and daylight lean towards yang, representing that which is guided by light, righteousness, reason. Although sun worship is present in arcane cultures, at times it's used to describe regular folks when contrasted with the moon.
I think...
But if this potion really is toxic to Arcanists, or whoever else, we have to tread carefully. Ezra mulled it over for a few seconds. That's just a sensible guess. We'll need solid proof.
Good job.
Good, the spirit of scientific inquiry, I like it. Medicine Pocket rolled out the beanbag sofa, lying on the floor with a push from their legs. They sat up. They pulled out a wrinkled piece of paper from their pocket, which looked like a page from a book. That's why I came to you, and why I thought I'm onto something.
It's...
Is this... Pinguicula. Okay. Is this Pinguicula alpina? Alpine butterwort. Every potion maker knows it. Far from just your regular flower or herb. So it's needed for the formula you recovered?
Bingo.
Yes, that's right. The legendary ingredient, untouchable by Arcanists, is a most elusive plant found on the highest peaks of the Alps. Huh.
Yes.
Certainly, if the recipe includes Pinguicula alpina, that explains the potion's restorative effects. Almost all Arcanists react badly to it due to neuron secretions. Common symptoms include itchy skin, vomiting, and phantom pains that feel like breaking bones.
Uh-huh.
I get what you're saying. You need me to pick some Pinguicula alpina for you since I'm human and won't kneel over?
Bingo.
Of course, there are other reasons, like only your exhibition authorization can bypass safety protocols to get it to my lab pronto. My exhibition authorization?
Hey, stop it.
Forget it, there's nothing to worry about. You're just helping me out, okay? So when those old farts come asking questions, you're in the clear. Is that something I should worry about? Oh, Ezra. The young mad scientist stood up, brushing off imaginary dust from their thighs, warmly embracing Ezra. The kid wobbled into the hug before finding himself pushed toward the door. I'll handle everything, alright?
And you...
I'll just
my
grab the
friend.
darn glass, pluck it, stuff it into a box, and bring it to me. Well... Very subtle there, buddy. Very subtle. Okay, back on the mountain, aren't we? Yep. Oh. Alpine Shepherd. Oh, this got noted. Ah, I see. Okay. New stuff in here, of course. Gear, slingshot rope upgrade, AC cost when advancing -2. Yes, please. And this is more currency. Okay. Whoops, that was the wrong one. This is the new one. Cliffside cabin. Okay, targeted altitude is 4,000 meters. Alright, we're getting pretty high. A wooden cabin on the edge of a steep cliff. It feels as though you could fall into the abyss at any moment. The bravest climbers choose to rest here, the last stop before reaching the summit. Oh, I like the edges of the screen getting frostier. Okay, well, let's start the climb. You find a cluster of magenta berries by the rugged mountain path. They are the same as the ones you picked from those fertile plants. Pick and preserve. These berries have become your rations. The altitude to which you can climb has increased once more. AC +3, obtain Alpine Forget-Me-Not. Nice. The lake ahead has frozen over. The icy surface doesn't look particularly thick. Treading on it could be risky. Make a detour. You bypass the lake, deciding to prioritize your own safety. AC +3, obtained Gentian. Nice. After the snow and wind subside, the sunlight shines through the clouds and beams upon the snow. As you look up, you can see the clear sky far above. Bathe in the sunlight, forge ahead, stop and take in the view. Stop and take in the view. You choose to stay for a while and enjoy this rare scene of beauty, basking in nature's glory. -3, obtain Alpine Forget-Me-Nots. Okay. Oh, a gas stove again. Well, cook. Okay, that was an old event. You are overcome with dizziness and begin finding it difficult to breathe. Your body sounds an alarm, demanding more oxygen. Take medicine, take a short break, keep moving forward. Break. You take a break to adapt to the environment, regaining some of your stamina. -3. Okay. Keep advancing. A group of variation links. Okay, so this gave no impact. Defend and prepare to fight. Throw out some food for them. Defend, prepare to fight. You choose to stay on the defensive, keeping your distance and proceeding with caution. As they surround you and the tension mounts, you search around for potential ways out, desperate to escape this predicament. AC -3. Well, not the best solution. You find a suitable location to set up camp. Just as you prepare to rest, a strong wind mixed with hail blows in. Run for cover, find another location. You immediately put away your belongings and brave the wind as you advance a short distance to find a more suitable place to camp. Despite expending a significant amount of energy, the night passes in peace. No impact. Okay. While walking through the snow, you stumble over something. After digging around your feet, you uncover the king remains. Sort out relics, avoid disturbing the remains, bury the remains. Sort out relics. You sort out the items found in the snow-swept remains and continue forward with the unfinished wishes of the deceased in your heart. No impact. That's literally just enough. That's literally enough. Okay. Part 5. One Who Stole Fire.
That's right.
As per the itinerary, it was supposed to be my final trek up the mountain. I'd locate my most crucial specimens and procure the ingredients for the potion my friend needed.
But...
However, things didn't go quite so smoothly. Uh-oh.
It is without doubt that...
I need to request permission to continue my ascent. If I can't find it at 2,000 meters, I'll keep climbing to 3,000 meters, maybe even 3,200.
I must
find it. Please, allow me to look.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, I understand the risks, but I'll devise a more detailed plan. Trust me.
Seems like...
Looks like I've come at a bad time. The observer finally spoke, having waited by the door for quite a while. No, it's nothing. Come in, Medicine Pocket. The office's young inhabitant gestured, and Medicine Pocket entered, shutting the door behind them. Your preparations didn't go well, huh? I heard you didn't find what you needed on the mountain. And my ingredient? Did you find it?
Found it.
Yes, it's right here. Ezra placed a sealed acrylic box on the table, containing the Pinguicula alpina inside.
Nice.
Great.
Nice.
At least we've got some good news. I brought gloves. Let me check. Medicine Pocket placed a large white box beside the acrylic one and slipped on a pair of plastic gloves over their own pair.
Uh-huh.
That ought to do it.
What is this?
Medicine Pocket. Is this box your field toolkit? Yep, your room's mine now. I'll be doing my experiments here. Test tubes, stirring rods, and a recorder cluttered Ezra's desk. The uninvited guest pulled over a chair and began their experiments as if they owned the place.
Oh,
So, you're here to talk me out of it too? Ezra lowered his head, fingers intertwined.
I know.
I know it's risky and maybe irrational. I faced opposition from the start, but
Hey, stop it.
hold on. Nothing hard. Have you ever needed to caution me, even once? The dilution flowed from one test tube to another, dividing evenly.
And you, my friend.
If you aren't a boring lecturer with a rusty old brain, then I, as your friend, certainly am not that kind of person. I've gotten many things from you, all incredibly dangerous. But you handed them over because you knew, mad as I am, I'm a sensible madman, and I would never throw away my life, no matter how much of our health I risk doing these experiments. No matter how much of my health, okay. You know, I'm taking risks, and you're taking them too.
That's right.
You're right, Medicine Pocket.
But
Sorry, I gotta interrupt you. Why the syringe? Ah. Expelling air from the syringe, the scientist looked up, mouth open, in a questioning expression.
And then...
Come on, I just said you've never cautioned me, and now you're telling me to be careful. And no, I mean, this reagent isn't safe to inject. I saw you added Pinguicula alpina to the dilution. It could cause an allergic reaction. Oh, right, I forgot to tell you. Oh god. Don't stab the kid. Rolling up their sleeve, they exposed their own arm. Okay. Medicine Pocket located a vein and skillfully administered the injection.
Ugh.
Ow. Ugh. My moral compass doesn't allow for a medicine beneficial to some but toxic to others. And genius that I am, I've improved the formula. Ezra stood, went around and adjusted the chair for their friend. Don't move, just relax.
don't worry.
Here, put your feet up on the desk, on my desk.
Uh-huh.
It's fine, just a bit dizzy. My mind's clear. You can continue talking. The young scientist squinted, rocking their chair. They still remembered that this conversation wasn't just about Pinguicula alpina. Remember the past? When we first met? Ezra brought a chair and sat beside Medicine Pocket. Back then you told me about your family. About the story your mother used to tell you.
Huh?
Huh? Oh, that story.
Is that...
Was that the story about the snow-capped mountains?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one. A tale about a climber and the stars up on those snowy peaks.
I know.
I remember the main character always climbing just to find the star and bring it down to heal all the world's woes. But the mountains were so high, the snow so deep, the freezing peaks knocked him down time and again. He tumbled down into the snow countless times until he eventually looked like a snowman. A tragic tale, kind of like Prometheus stealing fire. Medicine Pocket caught under their breath, their words coming slower. Coughed. Pardon. But the climber made it in the end. The star fell down to the people, and all the pain and suffering disappeared. But he, well, ended up Nothing more than a snowman. But he succeeded, and the star wasn't out of reach anymore. It belonged to the people. I love that story. It's just so heartwarming and touching. And I mentioned my family and my parents, right?
But
Oh. But what I failed to mention was, once I stumbled upon a hefty book tucked away on the highest shelf in my house. It was our family history. In it, I saw myself, my folks, grandparents, and faces I'd never laid eyes on, my great-grandfolks, even older generations, and distant family I never knew. Until, on the last page, surrounded by white flowers, a tiny figure was scarcely visible. They were Leontopodium. They were Leontopodium nivale, also known as Edelweiss. Ah. It grew up there on the snowy peak, blending in almost perfectly.
I know it.
I know it.
It is called the Alps.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. I see.
Oh, well, now I get why you're so fixated on it.
It is a place more distant than the farthest north, situated on a mountain where humans and Arcanists coexist. In this place, there is no unrighteous conflict or death.
Huh. A perfect world. No conflicts, no struggles, no deceit, no pride, no hate. Not like down here. Huh. Well then. Ezra's hands clasped together. His voice was like a snowflake drifting down onto heavy snow.
It's
my dream. But it's a miracle, one that feels so far out of reach. Medicine Pocket's chest rose and fell, their breath steady but drawn out. But I'm not the same anymore. I've seen how flames ignite and how miracles unfold.
I think
I can chase miracles too. I can make the impossible possible. Huh. Wow. The boy, still brimming with youth, whispered to himself, his sleeping friend's head tilted to the side. Across from him, on the table, 2 test tubes set side by side. One empty, the other full. An unopened syringe lay quietly beside a full one. Oh boy. I'll climb those towering peaks. It was as if a door had been opened.
I will.
I'll pluck down those sparkling stars. Kid, be careful. Jesus. What a little trooper. And what a goal to have, but my little dude, please don't die. Significantly negates debuff effects. Okay. Alright, and for number 4. Horn of the Summit. Targeted altitude 4,478. Okay. This long journey is nearing its end. The unbroken ridges flow on like ocean waves, and in the distance, the sound of blowing horn seems to be welcoming brave climbers and returning travelers alike. Okay. Let's start, I guess. What's the current status of stuff? Stage effect initial AC minus 20. Ouch. Alright, let's see. Oh, this again. You spy an abandoned mountaineer's hut. AC plus 5. Easy. We had this before. Walking through the mountain pass, you find a sublime trekking pole in a crack in the ice sheet, but its owner is nowhere to be found. Leave the trekking pole where it is, take the trekking pole, watch and wait. Take it. You pick up the trekking pole. It makes the next portion of your journey a little easier. AC cost when advancing -2. Nice. Good choice. A gas stove again, okay. AC +5, thank you. You take a break at the large supply station. At such a high altitude, the stars seem almost within reach. Look up, rest, advance by night. Oh, dude, this is a bad one. Rest. At this moment, nothing seems more appealing to you than a night of undisturbed slumber. You lie down and fall asleep. Obtain Alpine Pink. Nice. As you approach the mountaintop, the icy slopes become increasingly steeper, and the one before you now poses an extreme challenge. Explore and stumble forward, push forward no matter what, prepare thoroughly. Prepare thoroughly. You choose to thoroughly prepare your equipment and ascend steadily, reaching the top of the slope with ease. Okay, obtain Glacial Buttercup. The closer you get to the mountaintop, the thinner the air becomes. You find it increasingly difficult to breathe. Regain composure, grin and bear it, keep moving forward. Regain composure. You rest where you stand, trying your best to adjust your breathing. After a while, you feel much better. No impact. Okay. You take a break at a large supply station. Okay, obtain Alpine Pink, advance by night. Look up. You look up and point out the constellations in your head, enjoying this moment of relaxation to the fullest. AC +3, nice. Walking through the mountain pass, you find a sublime trekking pole. Alright. Oh, I can reduce the cost even more? I'll do it. Alright. Well, that's the required height. Oh, this actually stopped me by itself. I didn't do the shit now. Above the snow. So you're gonna have 6 parts, I guess. That's the last thing I remember clearly. After that, my consciousness, like young Ezra, became a snowflake lost in the mountains, vanished without a trace. Medicine Bucket shrugged helplessly, palms open.
Oh, please.
Let it go. You left him a vial of the potion. Your message was clear enough. When you woke up, what about the test tube? Was it still there?
Oh.
Of course not. Ezra isn't that naive. He lost Laplace's approval, which means he's without their technical support and backing. If he wanted to return to that mountain and climb higher and farther, he'd have to rely on my potion. You're pushing him into a dangerous situation. The young woman lowered her head, fidgeting with the cuffs of her uniform as if the fabric was itching her skin.
You shouldn't.
You're his friend. You shouldn't. As friends, it's only right that I help him any way I can. He'd do the same for me.
As far as I know.
From what I know, earlier today an emergency team was sent to the mountain.
What?
What? To find Ezra?
Looks like...
I think so, but it wasn't Ezra who requested help.
What's with that look?
Why are you looking at me like that? He hasn't come back all night. It's about time to send someone to fetch him. Oh, you called for help. You little goober. My potion can sustain him wandering around the mountain until he finds the damn Edelweiss, but it's still an experimental drug. If he climbs too high, he might lose strength before he reaches the peak. Wow. Look over there, the lady's back. The lady? Oh, the presenter? The child's exclamation interrupted the Laplace staff, and people in the exhibition hall turned to look as the assistant curator wheeled a cart toward the center of the hall.
What's that?
The young woman straightened up, fixed the microphone dangling from her cheek.
We're terribly sorry for the inconvenience.
First, I must apologize to all our attendees. I'm afraid Director Ezra's speech has been cancelled.
Sadly.
Our new director is currently undergoing treatment at La Paz's hospital and unfortunately can't meet with you all at this time. However, Director Ezra still brings up an unparalleled piece of good news. A smile appeared across her face. The black velvet covering the cage was pulled off, revealing the square outline of the terrarium underneath. Is that Ezra's mushroom terrarium?
Good job.
Huh. That's the Leontopodium alpinum. Oh my god, I heard he was looking for it, but I didn't think he could actually find it. Until now, no indoor exhibition has successfully displayed a live Leontopodium alpinum. Even the World Plant exhibition held by the St. Paulo Foundation only exhibited a preserved specimen. Academics once believed it couldn't leave the mountain. Am I dreaming? The audience erupted in awe, the sounds blending into a wave of excitement. People who had been lingering in front of various exhibits began to gather in the center of the exhibition hall. No one wanted to miss witnessing a miracle. What's that card? It's an introductory note, my dear. X bent down to shield the girl from being jostled by the crowd. Judging by the style, it feels like my friend penned this, the very person who found this plant, the curator behind this exhibition.
I know him.
My grandfather told me about him. The little girl made a mushroom shape with her hands on her head.
He sometimes wears a hat. A mushroom hat. I remember his hat.
That sounds adorable as hell. I haven't talked to him yet, but I always wanted to.
Look!
Maybe you can start by reading what is written. It's right here. It was a paper note placed next to the terrarium. It had been soaked by snow melt and then dried, slightly grayish in color, contrasting with the snowy white flowers like its dark shadow. X and the girl picked it up, and only then did people begin to notice it.
Leontopodium alpinum, also known as Edelweiss, is a plant from the Leontopodium genus, Asteraceae family.
Unlike other Leontopodium species, it mainly grows in high-altitude plateaus and mountainous regions, ranging from 3,000 to 3,800 meters above sea level. It's highly flammable, making it an excellent kindling material, which is why it's known as the fiery grass. At the same time, its snowflake-like white color earned it the nickname snowdrop flower. My mother introduced me to this flower. She told me that, in my hometown, it is a symbol of peace, stability, and genuine understanding. Legend has it in the snowy territories that this blossom belonged to a fabled kingdom, unseen and shrouded in perfection.
In that kingdom, there is no conflict. People love each other, respect each other, and treat each other equally.
This reminds me of Metaphor now, and the book the protagonist always reads about the utopia, which is like a fictional, well, quotes fictional place about pretty much what he just described. Everybody's at peace. It's tranquil. It's happy. No one is arguing. It's just blissful. And the Edelweiss was the emissary of that kingdom, entering our world through cracks in the windowsill, where the Edelweiss grew. Where the Edelweiss grew was on the borderland next to this ideal kingdom. The origin of the legend is uncertain, and the existence of such an unknown and unseen kingdom is yet to be proven. But undoubtedly, upon the Edelweiss rests the people's sincere hopes for peace, mutual understanding, love, and respect. And this truly is the theme of this exhibition. Those with eyes can behold the beauty of its flowers. Those with hands can touch the greenery of its stems. Those with blood flowing through their veins can walk. Those with beating hearts can love each other. From today, from this moment,
The ideal kingdom will border the soil beneath the snow-capped mountains. One single spark on the Edelweiss will spread and light up the sky.
The end. Okay, so that's your full story then, huh? Pinnacle of perfection. Beautiful. That was a nice little story. Okay. And I can progress all of this stuff even further beyond. Which I'm probably gonna have to do at least to grab all of these rewards, but I can do that in my own time. But that was it for Ezra's story. So, with that, we have actually fully completed all of the story stuff and all of the character stories. So that means, as a final note here before before I wrap all of this up, we can now watch all of the all of the trailers as usual, considering this is done. So let's get to it, shall we? Alright, trailer time. So, we're gonna start as usual with the main trailer. And this time around there's only 3 apparently trailers from what I could dig out. The rest is EPs, so we're quite light, at least for once. But anyway, let's start with the main trailer, shall we?
It's one of the Arcanists.
God, it looks so much cleaner.
A rare kind, Miss Bathadia. Based on the past cases, you will eventually become yourself again. The old self. What you saw in your mind were not illusions.
Oh.
But memory.
Oh, hold on. Oh yeah, this is much wider. This is so much wider than the in-game version. This is like a widescreen version. I don't remember. I think I've seen Vertin's hand. I need to recheck the old footage. But I think I've noticed like Vertin's hand on the left. Desert Fran's hand was definitely in frame, but I only remember her from the middle of the screen. They really need to put, at least into the PC version, they really need to put these higher quality versions in. Like, the PCs can handle it, please. Please?
Memories from your past self.
I remember it now. Under the starry sky, on the scorching sand, countless Arcanists ran like a herd of beasts. Gosh, they're all in my head. That's the only sport stadium built for Arcanists. And I was the first priestess of Uluru.
Oh. Oh, this is interesting also. Hold on. Go back. This is also interesting. So this moment here in the trailer is literally from her memories of the past.
I don't think any Arcanist would say no to witnessing the revival of the once magnificent games.
A junior student from Melbourne. An old soul, a reincarnator. What's her attitude and what will she do? Please,
I love the fact that I called this guy an asshole, and I was right.
find out with me.
Come on, Flammy. Let's light up the Uluru torch.
Good lord, the didgeridoo.
In the future, I think I will continue to hold the Uluru Games. Maybe I'll grow too old to run one day, but Ulu and the games will always be there for everyone.
Heck yeah.
Come on, this is the one punch!
The one punch. Oh shit! Hajime no Ippo?
Recently, I've been dreaming of the days back in my hometown.
Oh, that's a shrew, buddy.
Went all the way to the rainforest in Queensland. I have come to an even wider pine forest. There are a lot of new mushrooms to collect. The fieldwork went smooth. I look forward to our next cooperation.
Oh, you with the suitcase. Do you know how I can get a job here? Looks like they pay their employees well.
Uh-huh.
You frauds never stop coming up with new scams. No cheat, no eat. Heard that before?
Good lord, a bird.
This is what
Uh-huh.
The hammer of justice.
Uh-huh.
The fire brings down weeds in the field.
So a total of 4 new summonable characters, huh?
The circle of life is thus completed. Ablaze! The wheel of flames!
No. On the Red Land News series garments. Ah, skins. Makes sense. He was in the story. Holy. Alright, I see the theming. Damn. Uh-huh, we just went through that one. Oh, interesting. This is where... Ah. Okay, okay, okay. What the fuck? Okay. New gameplay. Okay, okay. Login events, yeah. Uh-huh. The boss battles that are part of all of these. And a new biome to collect, of course. And I think that's it, right? Yep. What in the I saw it for a brief moment here. Who the fuck is... Oh, it's Let's Game It Out. No wonder. Why am I surprised about these thumbnails? Anyway, okay, interesting. But yeah, they really... Stop it. They really need to put these high quality trailers into the goddamn game, at least into the PC client, please? Because holy hell, this is widescreen format. Like, a huge portion of this shit was cut out. Literally. What the hell? Okay, anyway. Spethodia trailer. A blazing star. Let's see.
Congratulations for our rising star, the flaring boxer!
Oh, sure happy. Oh, is that her mom?
Secrets you'd like to share with the audience?
Well, actually, there are no secrets. My mind was completely blank. Just focused on boxing. And then I was surrounded by darkness, seeing nothing but a flame above me. I have to grab that most dazzling spot. That was the only thing on my mind. That's when my arms were full of strength. So I aimed and punched.
Who cares? That's the secret. Mom, tell us something about Spathodia.
Flemmy works very hard.
Okay, this is her mom.
Sometimes she even falls asleep with a mouthful of salmon.
Aww.
I just want her to be happy and healthy.
It wasn't healthy. It's just my throat. No. Mom never told me we're descendants of the Red Dragon.
Okay, that scene was also in the game, that animated part. But again...
It's jogging time, hurry up!
Oh no, it's getting late.
Oh?
Oh?
Uh-huh. Alright, you little squirrel. But yeah, again, this scene was in the game, but it was again cut off, if I remember correctly. They really need to put these high quality things in the game, please, for fuck's sake. Oh, jeez. Okay, and now for the mushroom boy. Let's see.
Ms. Vertin has a quaint handy suitcase which she carries around all the time.
Yes.
It's bright and
Oh,
spacious
hi.
on the inside, almost like an ark full of Arcanists.
Uh-huh.
These odd-shaped shells. Could they be the Urukai of the mutant Mothman?
Okay, I know that she's from a different time period. Let me hear that again.
These odd-shaped shells. Could they be the Urukai of the mutant Mothman?
Yes.
Miss Sotheby, these are amoxicillin capsules. It is an antimicrobial medicine for humans.
What is happening in the back?
And I happen to be the only human on this ark.
Huh. I didn't even think about that. Wait. Is he the only human in there? At least so far? I don't know about the rest of the crew, but up until this point, was he the only human in the suitcase?
I joined Laplace as a researcher studying the diversity of fungi. Laplace has a great collection of fungi. Each has its unique lovable feature. It is a place of possibilities.
Sweet 3D fungi.
But it's also where we can find the precious plants.
Oh, this picture.
Combine Arcanum and human technologies, we can make something new out of them.
Ooh.
Then, humans and Arcanists will embrace a better future. Oh, you're awake.
Oh, Jesus. Hi.
You just fell from a 5-meter tall eucalyptus. Can you hear me properly?
Are you my guiding angel? From above?
Wow. Wow.
I'm afraid further observation is required.
Sure.
Don't worry, I will help you get through this. I'm Ezra, a human researcher of Laplace.
Interesting. Never really thought about that. Actually, how many actual humans are part of the team? I've never looked quite closely at them. Gonna need to go through them a tiny bit just to see if there are others. But anyhow, that's it for the trailers, and that's it for this whole thing and its story and all of its happenings, I guess. We are officially done with this. I will obviously in my own time run the rest of this thing. I still need the main event thing as well to finish completely, to get that final reward. This thing here, this thing is still left, so I still need to complete this, but that will come with time. That requires a couple of more days of just literally sitting there and waiting. But yeah, anyway, this was a fun little event, and apparently with the foreshadowing, the new Uluru games are something else. Let's put it that way, I guess. But yeah, anyway, I'm looking forward to checking out the new Uluru games now, but like I said at the beginning, first things first. First is gonna be Oliver's anecdote, just to go through it and see his family and backstory, and see how that is gonna then connect to the new Uluru games, and what his family has to do with it. But more context is always nice, so that's gonna come in handy, hopefully. But yeah, in general, this event story was pretty nice. Pretty wholesome, pretty adorable. I mean, both Ezra and Spefly are super adorable. And yes, I do ship them. And kind of wonder how stuff is gonna go for them from here as well, considering this is just the beginning of their journey and everything. And literally like in the trailer just now, Spafodea plans to hold the Uluru games from here on onwards every time they're taking place, so a journey through time would be funny. Would be funny to see. But yeah, the theming was very nice as well. Just bridging the gap essentially between the two sides to stop bickering at each other and just cooperate, but also bringing a bit to light a bit more that, or rather even more solidifying how both humans and Arcanists are quite literally two separate species, like we were saying before. I think literally in the previous episode. Quite interesting to see as well. But yeah, this was a fun little event. The characters were also pretty fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of this thing. And we'll see more of that once we breach into the new Uluru game story. Oh boy, cannot wait to get a reality check on that one, I guess, when that comes around. But very soon, very soon. Cannot wait, because that's gonna be a really fresh experience for me, considering that I've
only a gentle sprinkle
consider that I never did one of these through this menu here. The only thing I've ever accessed in here was stuff like this. And yes, I didn't read this, as always. I literally just did it so I can do the reminisce thing. And, yeah. Considering that her thing is in here tied to the whole thing, I guess I'm gonna be doing... her... where is it in here? Anecdote. There it is. I guess I'm gonna be doing, her anecdote then, once we're done with the main portion of the story. Considering it's in here, why not, right? But yeah, anecdote first, and then we jump into this thing next time. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this part. As always, if you did, consider leaving a like, it would help out a lot. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and there's gonna be obviously more. And yeah, hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.